Isn't It Romantic, the new rom-com starring Rebel Wilson and Liam Hemsworth, is pretty enjoyable. It's not the best film I have ever seen. I didn't expect it to be, but for what it is, I had a pretty good time at the movie theater. It makes a good date night movie, and that's what I went and I saw it as. Rebel Wilson delivers a pretty good performance. It's nice to see her doing something other than a Pitch Perfect sequel. Liam Hemsworth is Liam Hemsworth. And the rest of the supporting cast does a pretty bang-up job. The cinematography, it's actually pretty decent in some places. The segments in the real world are not particularly fantastically shot. They're kind of just bland and dull and lifeless, and I get that that was the intent, to convey this mundane reality of existence. But there are some shots in the fantasy romantic comedy world which are absolutely gorgeous. I wasn't expecting to see any kind of stylistic anything visually in this film, and I was pleasantly surprised. There are actually a few clips in the trailer of some of the sequences I'm talking about. Comedically, not every joke hits the mark, and that's unfortunate because I was expecting a little bit more satirical look at romantic comedies than what we got. The film pokes at quite a few tropes of the romantic comedy genre, but never goes anything past acknowledging that they exist. There are some pretty decent jokes about the editing of romantic comedies that are PG-13, and you see one of them in the trailer where Rebel Wilson wakes up and Liam Hemsworth opens the door after having stepped out of the shower. That's a pretty good joke, and that got a pretty good reaction out of the audience I was with. Unfortunately, that's one of the best jokes in the film. There is a tendency for Rebel Wilson's character to continue a joke maybe a little bit longer than it should have gone. I don't know if it was ad-libbing or if it was written that way. The jokes aren't particularly awful, they could have been better. Maybe another workshop. Some of the dialogue is a bit hokey, and I would have expected that a bit more in the satirical romantic comedy world, but quite a bit of that takes place in the real world, especially at the end. There's a sequence where Rebel Wilson is presenting an idea for a parking garage. She works as an architect, and a lot of the dialogue is very thinly veiled metaphor speaking to the lesson that she just learned. Of course, with a film like this, you expect some pretty obvious twists and reveals, and there's one that you see coming at the very beginning of the movie. Despite the film's shortcomings, though, it is ultimately enjoyable. Like I said, it's not the greatest film I have ever seen. I didn't expect it to be. But for what it is, it's perfectly viewable. There's also a really neat song and dance number with I Wanna Dance With Somebody, so you'll probably get that stuck in your head by the time you walk out of the theater. As far as romantic comedies go, there are far worse ones to watch.
Hey guys, have you seen Isn't It Romantic? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. I always like hearing what other people thought about movies. If you want to stay up to date with all the goings on for this channel, be sure to follow me on Facebook. Just look up Mario Bennese YouTube and you can get all the information, all the reviews, all the updates. It's all there. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.